What is going on, everybody? Simply10 here, and today I have a fun topic to talk with you guys about and something that I am very excited about, and I have a feeling that because you clicked on this video, it's something that you're excited about as well. So close to the beginning of last year, around March or April or May, like somewhere around then, I'm not exactly sure when the vote was held, but there was a vote held on which UCS set fans wanted in the near future. The three options for this fan vote were the Nebulon B frigate, the TIE bomber, and then last and most certainly not least, the Republic Gunship. So after about a month of voting, the poll was closed and LEGO released the results, and the winner of this vote was, well, I mean, obviously if you didn't see it coming, you didn't see it coming, but I saw this coming, and the winner was the Republic Gunship. So that's right, folks. After that poll happened, there was for sure going to be a UCS gunship in the near future. And here we are 1 year later with that gunship still not having come to fruition yet. People believe that this is now the time. Like this spring, around like April and May, around that sort of May the 4th time, is when we will finally see a UCS gunship out on the shelves. But with that in mind, here are the 10 things to expect from this highly anticipated LEGO UCS set. One thing that I would like to mention before we jump in here is the fact that I am a channel here on YouTube and I make 10-part videos like this all the time. And if you're interested in these 10-part videos, you should really, hit that subscribe button and that bell so you don't miss out on my next great video. And there are actually prizes if you're interested, if you guys can get me to 1,000 subscribers. But with that out of the way, let's jump right into the content and start right here like we always do at number 1. And this number 1 is going to take a look at previous LEGO gunships. So ever since LEGO picked up Star Wars as one of their main themes, they have released 3 separate Republic gunships. The first one was called the Republic Gunship, and it came out in 2002 and came with 693 pieces. The second one came out in 2008. It was called the Republic Attack Gunship and came with 1,034 pieces. And then finally, the most popular one came out in 2013, and it was called the Republic Gunship, and it came with 1,175 pieces. So yeah, basically these sets have been known for being massive in the past, and this UCS set will for sure be more massive than these, so we're definitely in for a very gigantic set in the near future. More in-depth things that you can look at when looking at these sets are like the figures, which I will talk more about later, the design of them, which I will also talk more about later. The biggest thing to me is like the price to piece ratio, because it's probably about what this Republic Gunship will be. I'm just not going to go too in-depth into this. I just thought you should see all these images before I go through and refer back to them later, because I will for sure be doing that with all 3 of these sets. The second thing that we can for sure expect from LEGO is that they will price it, and they will price it high, because this is a UCS set. It was a set that the fans voted on and really wanted, so that means that they can price it basically whatever they want and the fans will buy it. And the current rumored price of this set is $350. So yeah, that's right, this thing is going to be massive, because $350 is what the Mos Eisley Cantina cost, and that one definitely was massive, so obviously the UCS Gunship a year later will be massive as well. The third thing that we can expect from LEGO is that there will also be a piece count, and that piece count right now is rumored to be 3,292 pieces. Which is once again, like the price, a huge number, which means that, this is going to be a gigantic set, because 3,000 pieces just automatically equates for a gigantic set no matter like how small they are. And it definitely just confirms just how awesome this set is going to be. Like the price, sometimes doesn't always tell the full story, because things can be overpriced or even underpriced. The piece count is kind of more of like the thing. In my opinion, the size itself is what matters most, but the piece count definitely does matter more than the price usually. And this piece count is telling to me that it will not disappoint. Alright, so now that we know the price and the piece count, we can then now at number 4 go and compare it to similar UCS sets with the same piece count and price point. And the 2 that really came to mind for me were the UCS Sand Crawler and then the UCS Imperial Shuttle. And as a matter of fact, the Imperial Shuttle actually came to mind sooner than the Sand Crawler, even though the Sand Crawler is probably going to be more similar to it than you realize. The Imperial Shuttle just seems like that sort of same idea of a set where it's like, a troop transport vehicle, and it's, going to be about that $250 price point. And it's just going to come with a ton of pieces. Like in my opinion, the Imperial Shuttle is like as close to a Republic Gunship as you can get in the Star Wars universe, so obviously the UCS Imperial Shuttle should be pretty similar to the UCS Republic Gunship. However, this set is $100 less and it has 1,000 less pieces in the rumored price point, so maybe like kind of scale it up just a little bit in terms of, what you're imagining for this Republic Gunship, and then add in like a couple other figures. But even then, sometimes they put less figures in more expensive sets like LEGO. It's hard to tell with that sort of thing. But if they do keep with that same sort of style, the Imperial Shuttle came with 4 figures, which would sort of equate to the Republic Gunship having about 6. And not only that, it came with like the one big leader in Darth Vader, and then one like officer, and then one trooper, and then obviously Luke Skywalker, but I don't think this Republic gunship will come with like a villain in it. So that's kind of going to be how I model my next section, where I dive into the figures. So in my search for another set that I thought would be similar to the UCS Republic Gunship, I found the UCS Sand Crawler. While the Imperial Shuttle immediately came to mind, the Sand Crawler is actually way more similar to this set than you may realize. The gunship is rumored to have 3,292 pieces, while the Sand Crawler came with 3,296 pieces. So that's right, they're basically the same piece count, which usually means that they'll be about the same size. However, surprisingly enough, the Sandcrawler actually costs $50 less than the rumored $350 cost of the Republic Gunship. So with that logic, that would mean the Republic Gunship will be even bigger than the Sandcrawler because it costs $50 more, but comes with the same number of pieces. But moving along down to number 5, I'm going to talk to you now about the possible figures that will be coming in this set. So when I was talking about the Imperial Shuttle, I sort of referenced to this, and I believe that the cap for the minifigure count in this set will be about 6 figures. I'm not saying there will be 6 figures, but I have a feeling that the max is going to be 6. Like, I don't think that they'll put more than 6 figures into this set. And they could even put as little as 2, because that's just what LEGO does. They just never put enough figures into any of the sets because, well, I mean, they want you to buy more things. And if they perfectly filled out a set for you, then you just be content with it. But they want you to keep buying more and more and more and more and more until, you just spent all your money on them and you're hooked and you can't get enough of them. Oh, jeez. LEGO is a sly company, aren't they, guys? But at that cap of 6 figures, here are my guesses for each and every one of them. First, we'll start off here with the biggest one, which in my opinion will be Commander Cody. I feel like that he's the most likely one to be in this set because there was actually a lot of heavy rumor around the Grievous Starfighter that came out last year that he was going to be in that set, and then suddenly that rumor was just gone. And there could be a chance that that's because they pulled him out at the last second and they're going to put him into this UCS Republic Gunship that, was just recently voted to become a set. The next likely figure to come in the set actually comes way back from the 2002 Republic Gunship, and that would be that random Jedi that you see there in that picture. And that random Jedi has come to be known in the LEGO community as Jedi Bob. On the box, he was just called a Jedi Knight, and it was kind of weird and random how LEGO just kind of shoved a random figure into there, and people thought it was kind of funny. And then for some reason, even though they kind of ripped fans off, they ended up loving that figure. But LEGO has not made that figure since, and I know that fans would be so ecstatic if LEGO decided to put him into this Republic Gunship. In fact, in the fan vote, you could also request figures to be placed in the set, and I'm sure that Jedi Bob was one of the most highest requested figures out of all of them. And for the final 4 figures in the set, I believe that the first 2 will just be normal clone troopers, and then the last 2 will be clone pilots. That way, you'll have enough pilots for the front cockpit area on the front side, and then you'll have 2 troopers to man the guns that sort of swing out from it. But, as awesome as that would be to have, figures that would sort of satisfyingly fill out the set, obviously, not completely, but it would be nice to have it that way. I highly doubt it, and there's a good chance that there will only be 4 figures that come in this set. And if there's only 4, I'd assume they just get rid of the clone troopers, but they could just give us 1 clone trooper and 1 clone pilot. For number 6 here, I'm going to talk to you about the design. And the design of this set, based off of previous LEGO sets and the fan vote picture itself, I believe that the set will be based off of Episode 2. The very first and most recent Republic Gunships were based off of Episode 2, the one outlier being in 2008 when they based off of the Clone Wars, but I just highly doubt that that's what they do. Especially considering the picture that was on the fan vote, it was definitely depicting an Episode 2 style one, so that seems like it's a very for sure thing that that's the Republic Gunship that's going to happen. And basically the only difference is that there's just not going to be any stickery art things on the sides, and then the bubble turrets will exist on the sides here. The turrety things don't exist in Clone Wars, but they do exist in that Episode 2 style version of a gunship. It will also most likely be much more nicely paneled off than any of the other Republic Gunships that we've seen before because, well, this is a UCS set, and obviously that's kind of how UCS sets roll. They just look nicer, they look much more finished off, and they're definitely a really awesome version of a LEGO set. The only thing left that I should mention about the design is the fact that the Sand Crawler, which is, like I said earlier, has the same amount of pieces and about the same price, was 18 by 8 inches. So the Republic Gunship could also be about 18 by 8 inches, which is massive. And considering the wingspan, that will probably be about, 10 inches, so it's going to be 18 by 10 by 8, which is massive. And here at number 7, we're going to talk all about the features. One of the biggest features that I hope happens in the set, even though they won't be able to show it off with the set itself, is the fact that it will be able to hold a ton of clone troopers. Like, I hope that the interior is just massive and really nice and really cool and able to like really nicely fit just a ton of your own clone troopers. Another nice feature that they should add is I think that they should be able to make it so you can still put the clone troopers into their cockpits, but you know, obviously still make the cockpits look nicer than they usually do. Just make sure that you can fit those clone troopers in there. But obviously this features section, in my opinion, is more about the fact that there aren't very many features, because that's usually not how UCS sets work. Obviously it will come with a nice stand, which will be nice, but then there won't be things in it that are fun for kids, like action shooters or things like that. Like, it's going to be a very nice display piece that hopefully can hold just a ton of clone troopers inside. And my number 8 section for you is the box. There obviously isn't that much to talk about in terms of the box, but it will obviously have that black box art that all the UCS sets have been going towards now, which look really awesome and, you know, are arguably overused, and in my opinion they are a little bit overused, but they do look really cool on that black box art. And then, you know, have like its own little like custom symbol thing in the corner, and then it'll say Republic Gunship. And then hopefully when you unbox it, there's an actual experience, because sometimes they put unboxing experiences into these UCS sets and sometimes they don't. But I think that a $350 set, like they're saying it's going to be, definitely deserves a special unboxing experience. Especially added on top of the fact that it's a LEGO Ideas fan voted in set, so this is like what the fans wanted. So hopefully they put something that, you know, is really special and really cool for a set that fans have been wanting for like years. My additional note here for you at number 9 is the fact that I just hope that because this set is, you know, like it's based off of like the prequels and the Clone Wars, and it's kind of what fans have been wanting LEGO to trend towards, and they just haven't done it yet. I hope that this set really shows LEGO just how big the fan base is out there for, you know, episode 2 style things, like things from the prequels. Because the beginning of this year has once again showed the fans that LEGO doesn't care about that and they just keep making original trilogy things. I just hope that this really awesome UCS set gets a ton of love from the fans and a ton of like really good revenue for LEGO, and they realize just how fruitful, you know, the prequels and the Clone Wars are. And this is the second UCS set ever to be based off of the prequels and not the original trilogy, which is a big thing, and hopefully it inspires LEGO to continue to make non-original trilogy UCS sets. And finally, here at number 10, the biggest question of the day is, will I like it? And will you like it? Will we like this set as much as we're hoping we will? And well, based off of everything we know, I think that it's going to be an amazing set, because LEGO usually designs things really well. It just kind of depends on, like, do they put the right figures in? Do they price it well? Do they put the right amount of pieces in? Do they undersell it? Like, things like that. And I really think that LEGO is going all out on this because fans just wanted them to. And especially with everything we know now with how massive this set is supposed to be, I have no doubt that this set is going to be an amazing one. But you know, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it enlightening and entertaining, but you know, also enjoyable, and that it really made you want to watch it all the way until, you know, me rambling here at the end about myself. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know by leaving a like or even a comment in the section down below, letting me know what I should change or keep the same in my next video. And if you really, really, really enjoyed it, be sure to really consider subscribing, because I make videos like this all the time. So if you enjoyed this one, you're gonna like all my content, so hit that subscribe button and that bell so you don't miss out on my next great video. And don't forget about those prizes if you guys can get me to 1,000 subscribers. But you know, in the end, what I always say is that I hope to see you in the next one.